Just think, if you had a team to approach your day-to-day tasks, how much more would you be able to accomplish at home? What about work? You have a presentation to give. You need to be focused, confident, and fearless. Does anyone have your back? In this episode of Racing 101, we'll check out some of the key players on a race team and find out what they do to be successful on race day. Most think racing is an individual sport, focused around the driver, when in fact, racing takes an entire team to succeed.
Consider this team lineup: owner, driver, crew chief, car chief, pit crew, spotter, mechanics, engineers, engine builders, parts specialists, just to name a few. It takes every player on this team working together to get a winner into victory lane.
A driver's nothing without a really good team behind him. The guys that build the cars at the shop, prepare the cars for you, the guys that come with you on the race weekend to help you through practice and make the cars fast as they can, and just the guys that are there on race day that go over the wall and do your pit stops for you. It all comes down to people. If you don't have guys that can do all those things well, it doesn't matter how good a driver you are, you're not going to even be remotely competitive.
That's why this is such a team sport. If there's one detail missed, you won't win. It's easy to have a great part of a team. What people don't realize about racing is it's not just the people that see at the racetrack. From building the engines, to licensing, to the cars, you have to have good pit stops, good pit strategy, and a great race car driver.
You know, at the end of the day, when the newspaper comes out, the thing we want to see is our driver's picture on the front. You know, I mean, those guys are the ones that go out there and really get the job done. But, you know, without a good race team, they wouldn't have a good car to drive.
So who makes up the race team?
Owner.
An owner is just what you think. The big boss, the person that signs your check. There are male and female owners. Like an owner of a football team or a company, the owner of a race team is the leader.
They have the responsibility of discovering the drivers, hiring and firing all team players, securing sponsorships, and overseeing the team's strategy. Not to mention trying to make a profit. It's the owner's job to provide an environment in which all team players can succeed. Crew chief.
Crew chiefs are like head coaches. They oversee everyone in the shop to make sure that they're building the fastest car possible. They manage the team in the shop and at the track, and it's their job to determine the mechanics of how the car is set up and maintained for each racetrack.
Like a football coach working with his quarterback, running plays and making adjustments as a game plays out, crew chiefs and drivers do the same during a race. They consult with the driver to get the on-the-field perspective and make decisions about strategy as a result. They may also call for a new play, demanding changes in a car's setup, making minor adjustments to improve handling.
In a nutshell, they know everything about their car, their driver, and every track they go to, and strive to put it all together on race day to bring home a winner.
Car chief.
If you continue with a football analogy, the car chief is like the offensive coordinator.
They work closely with the crew chief and team to set up the car and make changes. Driver.
Drivers are the most recognizable members of the team. They are always in the spotlight, similar to a quarterback on a football team. But drivers work closely with all members of the team to put one in the win column.
During practice sessions, they communicate with the crew chief in person or on the in-car radios to tell him how the car is performing, so adjustments can be made. During races, they must stay intensely focused on executing a game plan while reacting to the changing conditions of the race. They must be prepared physically, ready for the endurance it takes to withstand up to 4 hours of intense pressure. Spotter.
Spotters, known as the eye in the sky, watch out for the driver, telling them the location of the others on the track. This plays a crucial role on decisions on strategic moves and passes throughout a race.
Perched in different places, depending on the particular track, they view the race from above, communicating with the drivers over headsets, telling them when to pass and when to hold back. Since a driver's head is practically stationary in the race car, it makes it hard for them to look around to see things for themselves. Spotters alert them of a wreck and give quick advice on how to avoid trouble.
Now dive to the left and make the inside challenge on turn 2.
The driver is prepared to act immediately, without question, to a spotter's command to go high or low to avoid danger.
It looks like there's a wreck every time I go through there.
Pit crew.
7 people make up the over-the-wall pit crew that services the car during a pit stop.
Changing tires, fueling the car, making mechanical repairs or adjustments as things happen during a race is just the half of it. Some members of the crew are both engineers and mechanics in the shop, as well as part of the pit crew during the race. Some teams have special pit crew members they fly in just before the race. All need to be both athletic and agile to help their team succeed. Mechanics.
Mechanics help the car chief set up the car.
The combination of the engineers, engine specialists, general mechanics, shock specialists, fabricators, and tire specialists do everything from working on engines to building shocks and repairing the car's body after a crash. To take a checkered flag, you need flawless coordination, collaboration, and execution, and that means teamwork.
So hopefully by now you know a little more about the race team and teamwork in racing.
People who work together will win, whether it be against complex football defenses or the problems of modern society. Vince Lombardi.
Be sure to check out another exciting episode to learn more.
Remember, Racing 101, where you learn about racing.